Hi everyone, this is Bhumika Sharma. I'm part of the Experience Technology team in Publicis Sapient India, and this is my fifth XC Summit, both as a speaker and as part of the organizing team. And every year, I have seen how this XC Summit becomes bigger and grander. Today, I'm going to take you through a journey which is going to deeply question about your understanding of the physical world around you. Together we will learn how the world is not what it looks like. Together we will understand how everything around us is actually virtual, that nothing is real. And guess what? We are going to take this journey in virtual reality. Now I don't know about you, but I'm an astrophile, which means I love looking at the stars and the night sky in general. That picture, by the way, is the actual view which I could see from the astronomy camp I attended a couple of years back. And it really makes one wonder, where are we in the bigger scheme of things? How big is this universe? Where do we exist? What if I told you we do not exist in the physical world as we know of it? We exist in the story our brain tells ourselves. Let's look at this living room. If you could perceive reality as it really is, you would be shocked by its colorless, odorless, tasteless silence. Because outside of your brain, it is just energy and matter. Over millions of years of evolution has helped us in turning this energy and matter into rich sensory experience of being in the world, surrounded by the things that we know as part of the physical world. The world that you're seeing is not the real physical world. What you're seeing is a virtual reality generated in your brain to explain the patterns on your retina, similar to a digital camera sensor. Light sensitive cells in the eye, which are photoreceptors, detect wavelength of the light within specific ranges. This information then travels through the optic nerve to the neurons in the visual cortex. That interprets the information of the color, form, etc., and basis of years of modeling and begins to decipher the contents of the picture, which in this case looks like an apple. It is this years of modeling that has led us to a stage where we start perceiving this physical, non existent world as the real world. Our brain is iterating, it is evolving, and making a model of this world all the time, and also playing it back to you whenever there is a stimulus, like the visual of an apple. To see this in more detail, let us now get in the brain. But before that, a quick glimpse into the tools and technologies we used for this demo. I'm going to use my VR headset. It's an Oculus Quest, pretty powerful and insanely addictive gadget. I will use this to get into the experience and take you through a 3D model of the brain. Yes, we are going to get in the brain. The 3D scene that you will see is painted using Google Tilt, a 3D painting application for virtual reality. I've also used Blender and Google Poly to manage some of the 3D objects in the scene. I've also used Samsung Note 10 for scanning some of the 3D objects. DaVinci Resolve and iMovie are used for the media sorting. Now let me wear this headset and see you on the other side. You will be able to see what I am getting to see in my VR headset. Oculus Quest does give the sharing option through casting directly. Alright, I'm now inside the virtual scene, and what you see around is just my depiction of how actual reality is. Colorless. And I mean gray is the closest I could think of, because human eye is not conditioned to see anything beyond the pure spectrum. It is also incredibly dull, pretty silent, and of course, odorless and tasteless. Take this moment to absorb this. We will never ever get an opportunity to see the world as it is in real. Oh, look, there is a 3D model waiting patiently in the dull grayness of this space. I have to add here that this model was actually created using my 3D scan of the face. It was incredibly eerie when this VR headset initialized my position in the VR space when I left the Guardian And it put me right where I was looking through those eyes. It was really eerie. Okay, come on, let's get in. That's the brain that you see there. An entire life, lavishly colored with pains and ecstasies and agonies and fantasies, took place inside these 3 pounds. Very hard to believe. But this is you. This is completely you. Rest of your body is all connectors and fixtures. Now, did you know that all the experiences in your life are from single conversations to your upbringing and your culture? They all shape the macroscopic details of your brain. So, neurally speaking, who you are depends on where you have been and what you have experienced. Your brain is an intense shapeshifter and it's constantly rewriting its own circuitry. And because your experiences are unique, your detailed patterns in your neural networks are unique too, just like your fingerprints and thumbprints. And because they continue to change, your whole identity is a moving target. It never reaches an endpoint. See the light? All this activity. This is like some electrochemical circus happening here. Your neurons communicate with each other via chemical signals called neurotransmitters. Everything you experience, every sight, smell, sound, this is an electrochemical rendition in a dark theater called brain. For the sake of clarity, these neurons are placed quite apart for this rendition purpose, but actually these are densely jam-packed with cells stacked up in 11 dimensions. You see how it seems to require way less effort for you to recognize a friend, or choose a dress, or get a joke? But in fact, these things are possible only because of vast computations happening under your conscious brain. Right now, at this point, just like every other moment of your life, these networks in your brain are buzzing with activity. Billions of electrical signals are racing along the cells, and they're triggering chemical pulses at trillions of connections between these neurons. And you remain happily unaware of all this activity. But your life is shaped and colored by what's happening under the hood. How you act, what matters to you, your life's choices, loves, desires, they are all final output of these hidden networks. And the best part, you know how we take credit of all our ideas as though we are the ones who has done the hard work in generating them? It's in fact your unconscious brain that has been working on those ideas, consolidating memories, trying out new combinations, evaluating the consequences for hours, sometimes weeks and months before the idea rises to your awareness and you just happily declare, I just thought of something. We are right now stepping into a whole new world of digital superintelligence of Neuralink, where we are going to just not tap a factory wall with a stethoscope from outside to understand what the machinery sound can relate to, but we are actually getting in. We're getting to see this up close and personal. To see this machinery closely and interact with its electrodes, we will need to understand a lot more about the brain than we already know. These are the new areas that we have not been to before. It will be really great to decode maybe a part of the brain, even if not fully. This brings us to these blocks. Actually, these are spheres. These are memory blocks. Did you know that whenever we fondly remember a memory, the brain replaces the actual memory with that moment? The last access time becomes a memory then. Multiple reasons, but primarily because at the end of the day, you have finite number of neurons. And with every new experience you have, your neurons need to make millions of new connections. Optimization, you see. We don't even remember memories in great detail. Like, who remembers what is the color of second O in Google logo? We do remember what are all the colors though, but not in detail. Oh, and I see the memories of last 6 years of summit editions here. From the humble beginnings of 2014, when we started this conference with the intent of getting more opportunities for our teams to talk at conferences. And from then on, every year we have been having this summit as a testimony of community-led innovation. Here we see the glimpses from these past 6 years with themes going beyond the routine tech stack and frameworks. We have been marrying emerging technologies with robust baseline frameworks and evolving every single year with better delivery, richer content, bigger platform, and most importantly, having a lot more people grooming up to become seasoned speakers. Here is 2019, the last year summit, with the theme of Experience.next. Forward-looking feed of topics ranging from micro-contents to AI to immersive. The talks wowed 500 plus audience in Bangalore and Gurgaon in India when it happened in person in a hotel. We also saw an excellent participation from our global XT leads as speakers and audience. 2020 brought with it very unique set of challenges and opportunities. And one of the reasons we could go global and have this chance of meeting with you all, although virtually, is only possible because of this. And this is my recent memory. It is of the people, the books, the situations, the leaders that inspired me for this talk. And today we are making so many more precious memories. I would love to see this brain getting filled with so many memories. Wow, what a journey it was in the virtual reality. It was charged up with neurons, and it was all virtual. So it makes one wonder, what if everything is virtual? What is really binding people together? What is real? I think it's this. I think it's the stories and the storytelling aspect of human mankind. I think it is this one single thing which binds people together through generations and generations. And storytelling, well, it's nothing new. It's been there for quite some time. And now we have more and more technologies which can actually help us elevate this storytelling experience. I think the one thing that I want you guys to take away from this session is how we can leverage today's technologies and emerging technologies in changing our relationship with our work. Let's see where all we can use it. The second thing, make your experiences wisely because neurons in your brain are only finite in number. And with those words, I want to end this session. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey on exploring what is real. Thank you.